from Star Studios in Denison, Texas, this is Coffee with a Sign Painter, a weekly podcast hosted by sign painter Sean Starr that consists of interviews with other sign painters and some of the customers and characters Sean comes across while running his studio.
Okay, so welcome back to Coffee with a Sign Painter. I am talking with Limerick sign painter Tom Collins again today. We're going to get an update on some of the things coming up for the Elemental Arts Festival in Limerick, Ireland in September that my wife and I will be traveling out there to not only attend but to work on a public art project in conjunction with the band The Cranberries. And Tom's been instrumental in putting all this together and making it all happen. So it's a nice thing. We get kind of caught up on where things are now. There's lots of people, lots of other sign painters from around the world who are getting involved in the exhibition as well as the execution of the art piece. So let's talk to Tom and see what the latest is. Yeah, you sound like you're in a tunnel. What are you in?
I'm in this massive house.
Oh.
How can you look?
Okay.
It's enormous, and it has this huge feature ceiling that just goes on and on and on.
That's kind of amazing.
It is. It's like an airport or something, isn't it?
Yeah. What are you doing there?
Well, we broke in. I'm out surfing here for a few weeks.
Awesome.
Check out the TV, man.
Oh, look at that.
So this is it. Yeah, we're holed up here for for a few weeks.
Okay. And while your house is being remodeled.
Yeah. But I mean, sound-wise, it's probably not great, is it?
No, it's fine. It's totally fine.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just we have a cutoff time on this conversation because I just put down gold size. And
I hear you.
When the alarm on my phone goes off, we're done.
Listen, there's no problem. And listen, this doesn't need to go on air. You know, it's just nice to have a chat. You know what I mean?
Hey, man. I think, we're kind of living the experience. So let's share that with the world.
I'm boring everybody with the experience. That's
I don't care. This entertains me. That's the whole purpose. What are you talking about?
That's brilliant.
So I've I've become addicted to vinyl. I'm totally an OCD personality, and that's like so not good to be entering into a collectible thing right now. But whatever, I don't care.
What are you getting your teeth into? What are you listening to?
Well, I discovered some gems over the weekend. So I really like old. They call it outlaw country, which was like Willie Nelson, Waylon Jennings, all them guys in the 70s when they were in Austin.
Sure.
So I've been trying to. I've got all this stuff on digital, but I'm trying to also get it on vinyl. But then I'm really into old jazz and old Western swing, which is kind of jazz mixed with old like honky-tonk country. So I don't know if that's like a foreign language over there, but
I kind of get the gist of it. I mean, some of it, some of it rings a bell. And when I hear you talking to other people about it, I look up from time to time. I look up stuff, and I'm never disappointed. It's always good stuff.
Well, my latest addiction. I heard him on satellite radio. There's a station on there called Willie's Roadhouse, which I think Willie Nelson's like involved with picking the music or something, but I don't know. But it's this guy named Moon Mullican, who I guess from the research I've done, he was like really, really big in the 40s and 50s, and the record label he was on, I think it's King Records. They tanked years ago, and so none of that was ever converted to digital that I've been able to find. And so I'm hunting down the very few old records. There's a bunch of old 78s, but I'm like hunting down actual LPs where they put multiple songs on one record. And I found one over the weekend, so I was really excited to come in this morning and spin that.
Yeah, and how does it sound?
It's awesome. It's like it's kind of like this weird blend of Western swing, like Bob Wills kind of a sound, with like piano honky-tonk music. So it's really unique. And the guy had like a really bold voice.
It's got all that atmosphere as well. You know, the snack, crackle, and pop that you want from vinyl.
Yeah, exactly.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, last Christmas, Nikki bought me a record player turntable for my Christmas present. And I also bought her a turntable because obviously I didn't know she was getting me one.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
Yeah. So we had to. It was great. We were able to take out all our old vinyl, you know, our '80s singles. She was into you know, ABC and China Spices and all these kind of, you know, new wave bands. And it's my young fella Seth out there. He's playing. What his friend Rob.
That kid pops up everywhere. He's popping up in the Cranberries interview. He's here. That kid gets around.
I'm telling you, we can't get rid of him. He just keeps following us around.
What does he got? Like a huge squirt gun thing or what?
Yeah.
Is that one of those water cannons?
Well, it's a Nerf product placement plug.
Okay.
It's a Nerf thing, but they're unloaded because we're afraid we'll break anything. You know.
Yeah.
Even though they're kind of soft little kind of spongy bullets, we're just terrified that, you know, we'll knock over some priceless, you know, family heirloom, and that'll be the end of us, you know.
Yes.
But no, we're kind of couch surfing all summer really, between here, other friends who are going on holidays, and a couple of weeks here and there, and then moving back here again, and we're moving out here again in a couple of days.
Are you in Limerick?
We're outside. We're in the county.
Okay.
So we're quite near where Nikki's from, about 2 or 3 miles from where she's from, and she's from about 10 miles from the city.
Okay.
And it's lovely. I'm kind of casing all these places for you because I'm thinking, the guys would love this old bar, or they'd love, you know. So we're working up a kind of a little, a little break from the ladders and the scaffolding,
Gotcha.
where we can, you know. But you know, look, weather-wise, it's beautiful now. But we've had a really wet, wintry summer here.
Oh yeah. We had a real wet one here too.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I spoke to a friend of mine who's just back from his holidays in Italy, and it was painful listening to him talking about how
perfect weather.
Yeah, and we're having a staycation. I don't know if you have those.
Oh yeah, that's Kaylee and I's favorite thing, is to just like disappear but stay where we're at. You know, like we don't interact with anybody, and we usually just eat and drink too much and.
Oh, it has to be done. No?
Yeah,
you need to do it, and I don't know if you can turn your phone off or, you know, plug out from everything, but you need to do that from time to time as well.
Absolutely.
Disconnect.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I enjoy so much about, you know, taking motorcycle rides, is like you're in a car, people can still call you, or your text, you know, alert goes off or whatever, and you know, it still pulls your attention. But on a bike, there's no way to check that I'm willing to incorporate. Like, I'm sure there's some dumb helmet you can get where you can talk on the phone, but I don't want that.
Don't you know there is? There's some
I'm sure.
ridiculous Wi-Fi connected kind of, you know, bug type.
With a satellite dish attached to the top of the helmet, that'd be awesome.
It's absolutely got to be. I know I went out kayaking recently, and like an idiot, I brought my phone with me, you know, and I'm on the phone on the river, and I forget where I am at one stage. I look up, and the current is taking me miles. You know, checking emails.
We should do the next interview while you're kayaking.
Well, I've got a kayaking trip lined up for you.
Yeah.
And anyone else who shows up. And by the way, it's building into a nice little gang now.
Yeah, that's one of the things I wanted to like catch up on. I mean, I keep getting these emails from you, you know, so and so's on board, and I've lost track. Like, so who do we got showing up now? Well, this is exciting.
Today, right?
Yeah.
Today. I've had a lovely email in from Robert. I'm going to pronounce this incorrectly. Robert Gamache.
Okay.
Bob Gamache. He's in New York.
Okay. Yeah, I recognize the name from social media.
Well, there you go. Yeah, he's up there as glassgilding.com as well. I'm not sure what his Instagram. It's probably hashtag glassgilding. But he's worked with Louise Philly, who's also making a contribution, and who's a very highly respected illustrator and graphic designer based in New York, and who does book jacket covers for all these great book titles and publishers, and works with sign painters. And one of her favorite things is photographing signs in Europe.
Okay.
Here and going through all these these albums, these photo albums, looking for just the right kind of look. And she does a lot of branding work for restaurants in Manhattan, and really well known places. So she's sending us a design that somebody competent hopefully can finish. I think Bob is going to actually make his there and ship it over. With another guy I think he's either in Barcelona. I think he's in Barcelona. Diego. I'm going to make a Haynes of this as well. Rotulution Manon.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I follow him on Instagram too.
Right. I mean, his work is dynamite, and there's other people. There's Ashley Willerton, who's in Newcastle in England, and his work is fantastic. And it sounds like he's coming.
Okay.
Physically, awesome. In the flesh. And so there's people that are coming. There's people that are sending stuff in, and Jed Palmer is also sending stuff in, and it's great because you're getting a nice little dialogue going as well with everybody, and a few of the people that are saying they'll do something. Peter has a big surprise coming, and I don't want to spoil it. So he's been in talks with someone about joining us as well, and
I like
it's very
surprises.
special. Yeah, you're going to love this one.
Surprises are cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're all just going to look like small potatoes when this one comes off. So it's all going well. And my absolute, what I'm really excited about is a very old friend of mine, an old sign painter called Liam Dillon, who's a Limerick man, who's a local man, and who trained as a sign writer in the 1940s.
Wow.
And yeah, and he comes from a kind of a family of sign writers, sign painters, uncles, grandfathers, fathers, and they used to do a lot of ecclesiastical painting and decorating, which here would have been all the kind of church kind of work.
Right.
I think they painted my grandparents' bar,
wow.
Which would have been a pitch pine counter, but they made it look like mahogany.
Okay.
And recently, the new owner of the bar was asking me about trying to get a match for this mahogany bar, and I said, well, it's not a mahogany, it's pine. And these guys were experts at wood graining and all of that.
Nice.
So he's a guy over the years who's come up to me when I'm working and said, it's kind of the day that's in it. You'd need a little bit of linseed oil into your paint, and he'd go off and get it and come back, and it would just miraculously change everything, And so little tips over the years from Liam have been very well received, and he's someone who's kept in touch, and who now in his 80th year reinvented himself as a calligrapher. And he posted me this the other day. I just want to show you this.
Oh wow, that's just the address. That's amazing.
Yeah. And hang on.
Wow.
Yeah. So this man is doing these by hand.
At 80 years old, doing that fantastic calligraphy.
And he's still making a few few quid from it, as we say here.
Is he gonna be there? Like,
he's not only going to be there, he's going to break dance for us outside.
Awesome.
Well, he's a huge fan of that. So he's definitely he doesn't know what's going on. He's like, how do you have an exhibition with sign writers?
Yeah, like that's probably breaking his brain.
Yeah, well, it was just in the middle of all this other stuff that was going on between, all the other stuff that was been kind of falling into place. And he called me and he said he had his old signwriting case that he wanted to give me. He hadn't used it in years. And so I raced up there with my son, Seth, to collect it. And he was in the middle between 175 hand-lettered wedding invitations.
Oh, my.
And I said, well, if this isn't, if this isn't a love letter, I don't know what is. And I kind of said, look, we're having an exhibition called Love Letters from Limerick, and I said, you're now part of the exhibition, whether you like it or not.
There you go.
So he's come, and we have some of his old signwriting gear, and he served his time with CIE, who are they're like Greyhound bus, I'd imagine. They're like a huge company here, and they would have hand-lettered all the ads onto the side of buses, double-decker buses, like the kind of stuff you see, in London. We had them here as well. We got their cast-offs here in Ireland, all their rubbish ones that fit for the knackers yard. We got them, and so guys like Liam used to have to hand-letter these,
Okay.
So he's coming out, which I'm really excited about. And he's a third-generation signwriter, and he's got some great stories.
If that guy demonstrates one thing, I'm going to just quit, because I'm sure it will just blow my mind how graceful and everything. He's the kind of I mean, they would have been just I'm sure would have had their work cut out for them years ago with again, people's expectations, wanting it yesterday. That has never changed, I don't think. Yeah. Yeah.
I think we kind of think people have become more impatient. I think people have always been impatient and want stuff quickly. And he tells some great stories about ducking and diving, and he ended up developing acute vertigo, so he couldn't climb anymore.
Oh wow!
And people used to do the shop fronts for him, and he would do them and give them back to him. And people would I suppose try to work with him, even though it mightn't have been as straightforward as working with some new whippersnapper guy to come in and do it all,
right?
Without having them to get him. But I think there's something nice about that, And already someone I mentioned this wants him to do a commission he's a barber, and he's I think again he's a third generation barber, and he wants Liam to do a contract, a 1930s contract barber, the contract between the barber and the apprentice,
right.
And so that will be Liam's job. Yeah. So
that was my gold size alarm, but we can still talk a few minutes because I'm not real scientific with this stuff.
No, do take it, because something's come up here. I gotta go.
Okay. So at this point of the conversation, Tom had to address a family emergency, so we decided to go ahead and just stop there for now. And we did get to record some more material later, which included his wife and his son, but that'll probably be a podcast for another day. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all of the support that we've continually gotten for the show. Really appreciate it, and we will speak to you next week.
Coffee with the Sign Painter is brought to you by the Big D Speed Shop in Dallas, Texas. You can find licensed apparel of Sean Starr's original designs at bigdspeedshop.com. The show is also brought to you by Full City Rooster Coffee Roasters, makers of the Sign Painter's Blend. Coffee that Sean drinks in the studio every day. Now shipping worldwide. FullCityRooster.com. Thanks for listening to Coffee with a Sign Painter, hosted by Sean Starr. You can find all sorts of info about the show and sign painting, including previous episodes, at our website, seanstarr.com.